Alright, here we are. We're live today. We're going to try this. It's a rainy day. As you can see, it's cloudy. Rained all night. It's been raining, sprinkling all morning. Overcast. Probably going to stay that way all day. It's a lot cooler. I mean, it's like a night and day cooler. We were in this extreme heat. Unbelievable heat for September anywhere in North America. Forget Canada. And now it's not cold by any means, but the air is very damp. The breeze has a factor to it. There's a chill in the air when the wind blows on you. Let's put it that way. When it stops blowing, it feels like you're in a hot tub, literally. Problem? There's some kind of wow. Already, internet issues. Seriously. Okay. And stuff like that on their lives and whatnot, but also, just to be honest and quite frank with you, it's like everybody on YouTube is shadow banned. Literally, we're getting, our views have gone from hundreds and thousands daily. We cannot raise more than 40 people doing our shorts and our lives and our uploads over this last week. It's like either all the viewers, all the users of YouTube have packed up and gone away, or YouTube is not promoting our videos. Any of us. It's not just me, but I've watched some with millions of subscribers who are having the same issue. The same identical issue. Notifications aren't going out. Your stuff is not showing up on Google or Bing like it should be. Like I said, shadow banned, or whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever you want. Anyway, I just wanted to make it clear that if you're out there, if you watch this, whether you watch it on a video on demand or you show up here live, I see absolutely zero on my counter, but doesn't mean nothing. Like I said, YouTube is having some strange issues. So, yeah. Please give us a like and a follow, share our content. It's important to us. It'll be important to you. The more viewers we get, the more our content gets out there, the bigger the community we can create, and it'll be a lot easier to just investment into our productions here. Money into productions that not a soul seemed to be watching. Even if you are watching, YouTube's not counting you as a viewer. In fact, part of last month's viewing hours got taken away from us. And we had to build them back. Over 10 hours. We've been trying to get to 4,000. We got to 888. YouTube seen fit to roll that all the way back to 877 and make us fight our way back up to 900, I think, almost 900. But we just reached that point yesterday, or the way they calculate in the last 48 hours, because we don't know anything. We only know what happened 48 hours ago when it comes to analytics for YouTube. We don't know what happens right this minute, with the exception of the viewer count, if it happens to be working, which is, it seems to always show 0, but when I get off the live, it shows that we've had views. So that obviously doesn't always work either. So whatever's up with YouTube, let your friends know that we're live, especially if you know that they subscribe to us, because YouTube is not doing it for us any longer at this moment anyway. I have no idea what our next what our next walk video will be at this point. The next local event here is on the 16th of September, but that's my son's birthday, and so that's not going to happen. Because he's going to be doing his birthday. I don't know if it's going to be here or where he's taking his friends, but he's having a birthday party somewhere. And because I think we're going to be doing that with some of our uploaded content from the summer. It's going to be something we're able to do and perfect throughout the winter months, during the times when we can't get out and make content. And there are times here in Canada where we go through strings of weather where it'll be 20 below zero every day, morning till night when it gets colder. Fact of life in Canada. And though I know you see some of those YouTubers in Toronto and stuff doing their walks, they have a lot of places they can get in and out of the cold. They walk through the subway stations and the train stations and all that stuff to get out of the cold. Some of them even try to sneak into the malls and get tossed out and stuff like that. But they always trying to find a way to get in and out of the cold. Most of their walk is done inside. We don't have a big old underground railroad here to walk through, or an underground city, because some of the subways there have malls and apartment buildings and everything else in them. It's like a city under a city. Here, what you see is what you get. There's a reason why we live in Belleville. The Ville means just what it says. We're a city, but we're like urban. More urban than city. We do have a downtown, and we do have a strip where we got the mall and the casino and all that, the exciting food places. But essentially, there's also farms and apple orchards and everything else within the city limits. So it's more urban than city. Front stuff, but that too is a problem in the rain. There is places to get out of the shelter, but who wants to go to the waterfront and sit under a pavilion? And that is only if it's not rented and in use. Can you do that? Because they do rent those for events and live music and stuff in those areas. Yeah, and yes, even Pokemon tournaments and everything else. Whatever else goes on, whatever group is paying. And when they're paying, you can't use those pavilions and stuff at all, unless you're invited. So, what does everybody think about the prospects of what's coming to some of these things? Like Facebook is talking about charging subscription fees and stuff like that, which they are. They're talking about catering to paid subscribers on Instagram and Google. They're trying to pay ad dollars because they're losing their content creators. They're going to pay for subscribers. Your YouTube account's going to be subscription, and Instagram, they'll be paying along with the verified users. Oh look, I see a ray of sunshine out there in between the rain, but no rainbow. Anybody like the idea of Google Chrome's targeted ads? You can now go in the back end and tell them what products you want to have targeted at you. or you can opt out or completely do whatever most of the other people are doing, opt out completely and move up to Edge, where even the Bing search engine is far clearer in its search results and not all about advertising. What really ticked me off about Facebook is not only are they losing their creators, and I can tell you why, because I'm a content creator on Facebook. I've gone from having 300, 400, 110,000, 300,000 viewers weekly and monthly, and you know, in a year you're talking several million viewers on my Facebook streams to 14 or 15 a day. And they have started offering everything that I make now, because I got 1,000 followers on my thing. I can get stars, but it would take so many posts of images and shorts and stuff to even get close. They're like Google. They don't pay you unless you get at least $100 or more tallied up. And at a penny a star, you could be the rest of your life trying to ever earn a penny for your work. Look at those trees, though. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. I know I showed you some close-ups, but they're even worse now. These trees are not literally, they're not changing color. Every leaf on the tree that I'm looking at in front of me is burnt on the edges, like it's been within close proximity of a fire. And yet all it's been in close proximity with is the sun from the summer, which has been extreme every single day. And now that fall is coming, it's getting more and more extreme rather than what we're used to. So anyway, back on topic. I'm not sure where our next move here is with our videos. It's probably just going to be neighborhood walks and such like that, because local events. I think some of the events in mid-September are going to be the end of the local events. They're going to be opening up Main Street downtown to traffic until next spring on the 23rd of September. So all the events down there will be over. And we will be keeping an eye out for Toy-Con, because we'll make that this year. We didn't last year because there was no advertising about the Toy-Con, and instead of happening in August, mid-August like it always did, it happened in March, and it happened the day before or the day after Comic Book Day, which is another event that you can stream. And I don't know, it just was a big mess. By the time I found out about the Toy-Con, it was over. It was over. They had it like March 16th instead of August 16th. That's a big gap. We went to almost every Toy-Con there was up until COVID, and then they didn't have the Toy-Cons until, I think last year was the first one. Instead of holding it in August, they hold it in March. Not only did they hold it in March, they held it in a different location, a smaller location. They never had it in before. So we weren't even looking in the right place. Had it in a different building, in a different part of town, in a different time of the year. I hope it had a good turnout, but for me it was a bust, because we never made it. We never even knew it existed. We tried to look and look and look, and it wasn't advertised anywhere, not even on the page where they showed the local events for the city. It was like, oh, we'll have a Toy-Con this year. And then they did the next day. I know we're hoping to get the Glanmore House for their live video for that. They will let us in there with the camera to do video. They just ask that we're very careful not to break anything or use caution with our cameras. It is possible we may get to a concert that I might be able to, I won't be able to vlog it completely because that would be, actually that would not be proper on YouTube, but I could vlog off and on pieces of it, outside before, outside after, and little snippets of whatever. And so I could do a short video of that, and possibly we can do a hockey game. We do have a hockey team here. Technically, I think it's a shared hockey team. It's the Senators, Belleville Senators. Not a major league, but a minor farm hockey league. And maybe we can get to do that too. That will be something that we'll have to look at when the time comes, I suppose, because the tickets for that are very expensive too. And like I said, we're not monetized, and monetizing would be our decision, but we do want to get to that 4,000 view hours so that we're the ones making the decision and not somebody else. So for now, the direction of our channel is our local walks and our morning streams, local events that we did over the summer, and gaming, whatnot, little impromptu lives like this one, hopefully a little bit more stable than this. The internet is not looking real great, and I'm not sure why. We haven't been live more than 15 minutes, and at first they were telling me, it's just because the phone's overheating, but it's a cool day, and I'm standing here with my phone inside the building, and the internet is off and on. So yeah, no, not the phone overheating or anything. I just did a speed test on the PC, in fact, and the upload speed is what our download speed should be, and our download speed is twice what we pay for. So we got pretty good internet today. I certainly can't blame it on the data put through, because one thing we have here at the moment is data. We have the internet to cover it. We have the internet to cover 2 or 3 live streams right now, because you only need 10 MB. There goes the internet again. Our connection is too slow to handle our live stream, which is not the case. It's just that their equipment is not sending the signal to my device, and I'm standing between the door to outdoors, and the doorway to where the router is. So quite literally, it doesn't even have to go through the wall. The signals can come through the door, open air, through the doorways. I can get signal out there at the other side of that fence on the pathway. I can receive my notifications and stuff, and I've watched YouTube out there. Out into fandoms, and this is the Supernatural, from a Supernatural con last August in Toronto. There'll be one coming up in 2024. Oops, sorry about that. Kind of dark here. It's because I shut the door, and we're moving back to the other room so that the internet stops buffering. Hopefully it'll stop buffering when we're here right next to the router, which is right there, my friends. The router is right there. and no reason for buffering. There's the front view you're used to seeing every time we do a stream. Oh, the bees are out there. You can see them too outside the window here. So now we're in the front end of the house, standing next to the router. I'm sort of really wondering if we'll get buffering here, because if we do, it's going to be hell to pay when we start talking to the cable company, who we pay extraordinarily large amounts of money for internet from, so that we don't have these problems. They've been here several times to adjust the power coming from the booster out there, because it was turned up too high and overheating our modem and causing our internet to shut down. But that's got nothing to do with the Wi-Fi signal coming from the router, which is built into that modem. If the router's working, we should have signal. And it's not like we're trying to get just from that router. We have a booster in there that I can connect to, and we have the same problem. And that's sitting right in the doorway of the same bedroom I was in. Yet I can barely stay live on that. And I've tested the speed on it, and the speed is super duper on that as well. Anyway, probably no lives today, because chances are it'll be very damp when I go down to get my daughter from school. So content is content and discussion is discussion. You really want to bring you different views. And the school is all one route. I mean, I can take longer walks on nicer days. Nobody wants to walk in the rain the roundabout way to where they gotta get. At least not me. So as I'm understanding it, it looks like they're speculating now that Disney is endgame. Their CEO they've just brought in a while back to straighten out the mess that Disney's got. They're thinking his end game looks like they want to sell Disney to Apple Computer. What do y'all think about that? I sort of think that's the direction Pixar came from in the beginning. Because, that was a Steve Jobs deal. But it looks like they're speculating that Disney wants to sell everything to Apple Computer. The whole boiler backs. After buying after buying Pixar. I'm not sure that's going to go very big with the FTC, but I suppose we'll find out. If it does, then I know a lot of other companies that should probably be very upset with the rejections that they've been getting from the Federal Trade Commission. Look at the war Microsoft has to put up with to merge with Blizzard, the gaming company, all because of the title of one game, right? They would have Call of Duty on their list of games. And everybody's afraid that they'll have a monopoly because of that. But bad news, FTC. Gaming is not what it used to be. It's dying out since the lockdown is over. The popularity of those games is fizzling away. As we talk here. there anybody that's been hearing about the company that paid for positive reviews for a certain movie? How many people actually purchase things and do things because of the reviews they read on them, and how many of them do you believe are paid? How many do you know for factual that are paid? You've got a funny feeling it's not as many as we think, but there's quite a few people, companies that offer payment for positive reviews. And one of the places I can think where they offer it to cover up bad reviews is Amazon, eBay. The bigger companies they deal with, the more money the companies have behind them, the more they have to spend. If they get bad reviews, they can pay for somebody to add bad reviews, to add good reviews to cover up the bad ones. And no matter what that payment happens to be, even if it's a discount on an item can be bribery for a good review. Yeah, they saved me 25, 30, 40, 50% as long as I leave this review. Even if you got an item, you got paid for your review. Same goes for WordPress and their plugins. I know a lot of those big companies out there that do WordPress plugins. They nag and nag and nag and nag, and they offer you 3 months free if you leave them a positive review. And they'll offer you a year free for a positive review. Even though there's no cash that changes hands, that is still being paid for a review. It's something to think about when you're out there and you're thinking about purchasing something from Amazon, and you think, I wonder what people are saying in the reviews about this. Chances are those companies aren't paying for negative reviews, so if you can scroll back and find them, if they're pretty current, you can bet that they are real reviews. That company's not going to pay for a negative review. So much going on out there, hard to contemplate the changes that are happening in the world, negative and positive. It's obvious that there is a change in society coming, and these big countries, because the world is becoming global, big countries are struggling to remain sovereign because it makes better sense to have borders open and stop calling yourself world powers than it does to have borders closed. As small as the world is becoming these days. Okay, the world is shrinking because we're in quicker contact. We have all these cell phones and internet and everything. It's like the world has open borders, except it don't, because you talk to that person in wherever, and now you're going to go to them, but you got to do all this paperwork and pay all this money and all this nonsense with visas and crap like that. And you know what? The world is moving forward, and sometimes the borders that they're placing around us, they just don't fit the world today. Yes, a lot of people would argue the world's not a safe place, but you know what? You can't create the kind of change that the world needs with bombs and guns and demands and brainwashing. It's going to have to open up. That is the biggest thing countries are fearing right now. fearing they're going to lose something if they have to open up. But I'm going to tell you right now, they'll lose everything if they don't do something, because the governments we have today things happen in them so slowly, and the world is becoming faster paced. You can't take 10 years developing to have governments develop new ways when you can type something on a computer and it can happen in a blink of an eye. Like AI. AI is happening in a blink of an eye. Governments can't deal with it because things that happen with AI happen so fast, and it can take 20 years for something to become a law or be regulated or anything like that. And probably it shouldn't be either way. But the government operates too slowly for what we got going on in the world today. We need a different type of government. It was great when we were all dealing in small tribes and small groups for survival, but we're beyond that now. We're beyond the small groups and we're into global realities. We have to deal with things on a global basis. And the governments we have set up today just aren't prepared to deal with the changes that are happening in the world. Anyway, that's my thought in a nutshell. It probably took a little bit more than 2 minutes, but that's it. It's kind of like the Reagan days where he said, Gorbachev, tear those walls down, except now it's got to be said globally, tear those walls down. The problem in the United States, they are fighting. So some of these people, these Trump cards or whatever you want to call them, they are fighting so hard for Buy America only, but if they would only cooperate, there wouldn't be shortages. Things would be available free globally, as far as exporting goes. You wouldn't have to worry about, well, China's or this one, China or India or this one or that one is producing all this stuff, because you could send people wherever the work was, right? There wouldn't be a job shortage. There wouldn't be an economic crisis, because people would the jobs would always be there because you could go to them. You don't have to worry about Buy American. Because if you want to produce that particular thing and it's made over there, you go over there and make it with them. You don't have to worry about these tax issues and these visa issues and these travel issues and deporting. What's a port anyway? Portals are evil, right? Isn't that what they tell you? And that paranormal. Portals are evil. And mirrors are portals, and portals are evil. Cameras are portals, and cameras are evil. So we're not sure if they think they can have it both ways or what. But, yeah. Sorry, my camera's unstable. I'm fiddle-faddling here in the window, and I got bees in front of me. So I keep swatting at them, but they're outside. They're not even inside. They're just in my vision. There's a window between us. There must be a bee's nest fairly close to where I'm standing, either below me or above me. It might be kind of noisy too, because I have to think I'm standing over the air conditioner. So that'll be the noise you're hearing. Anyway, I'm probably going to let you go. You might see me in game, because I think after I get the laundry finished, that's what I was working on. We had to wash sheets and blankets and stuff today, being a stay-at-home dad. That's what I do. Got the kids off from school, did the laundry, take care of my YouTube shorts and music, figure out something for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, make a list of what we might need to get from the store. That's my job. That's what retired stay-at-home dads do. And I am both a retired stay-at-home dad. Retired and a stay-at-home dad. So I take care of the kids, I take care of the dinner, I take care of the clothes, I take care of the cleaning, and I take care of you guys at YouTube and Facebook and wherever else we do this babbling. But I do appreciate you all for being here. I really do. I appreciate you for stopping in, watching, liking. Just kind of wondering what happened to the YouTube, because it seems like everybody has vanished. I know it can't be because the kids are back to school. Yesterday, many of the kids on the East Coast of the U.S. went back to school. Beginning of this week, guys in Canada went back to school, but it cannot possibly be all kids just watching YouTube, because there's too many. There's a billion people worldwide, maybe more, maybe 2 billion or more. They're not all kids. Anyway, we'll see you later. Like I said, maybe in a game. Depends on how fast I can hunt down lunch stuff and get laundry done and whatnot. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for your support. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.